Yesterday I deleted 4 episodes. I woke up with a very clear insight and a very clear voice. Delete the episodes. Not 1, but 4. And without debating, without overthinking it, I did just that. I got out of bed, went to my YouTube studio, and made sure that nobody's ever going to see that content ever again. And then you might think, why? You spend so much time on it. You know, this is all your creation, right? And the reason why is that whatever happened that inspired me to create those episodes, because there was so much injustice around it, I really made a very clear statement for myself, like, hey, I believe that we create our own reality, and I refuse to let this, be part of my reality. And based on that energy, I took over command. You cannot always receive, the justice that you deserve, but what you can always do is take over your own command, and I actually have an episode about that. But today, message is more about how when you do realize that we create a lot of our reality, to know that is one thing, to act from that is another. And so instead of feeding that story, I saw like, hey, it needs to stop here. And that means I have to delete the creations that I created. I don't want to create from that place anymore. And that's the decision that I made. I'm no longer available for that identity. I'm no longer available for that loop. I believe in our human capabilities. I believe that we are capable of so much. I believe in the game of life. I believe that this life is a game. And for the people that resonate, keep listening, because we know a lot already about visualizing, manifesting, speaking and making realities happen. There's so many beautiful people out there that are doing the most extraordinary things in life. Prove that it is possible. They are freaking limitless. The most powerful thing is to stop telling an old story. Even if that story just happened. Because if you don't, it will control you. Or other people's truths and realities will control you. That's why it's so important to take over your own command. To decide what is important for you and how to move forward, and to be clear on what you speak out. And this is what I realized, because I already chose a new identity, I already chose a new script, I already chose what was important for me, and I took over my command. And that's why when I woke up, I realized, okay, that was such a strong output, such a strong conviction. But then you have to change this for it to actually really be aligned. Because if not, then you will continuously co-create from the old timeline. And that's exactly why I deleted those episodes. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine because I know why I'm doing this. And this is why I'm sharing this. Because we cast spelling. If you don't want to have that old story repeated, you have to start repeating it. Even if it's just an example. I tend to create based on examples. I tend to create based on stories, but even stories can keep us hostage. I'm always looking for silver linings. I'm always looking at, okay, this was really not cool. What's the good thing about this? And I got those answers because I was asking that question, right? And based on that question, I handled. But the transformation happens when you then take precision. This is not about positivity. This is not even about being optimistic. It is honestly about choosing what you're available for, and therefore deciding what you're not available for. And then the most beautiful gift that I got was a confirmation, not from the people that should have done the justice on the situation, but from my own field. Because this morning when I saw that there were some emails in my spam folder, there was an email from the other party. My iCloud decided to see that as spam, and I think it's freaking amazing. I was like, wow, access denied indeed. Access denied. Years ago, I bought this DVD, and it was What the Bleep Do We Know? And it explained everything about quantum physics. Well, not everything, but a lot. And it talked about, how we live in this huge potential that where anything is possible. And whatever the observer focuses on is what we tend to draw in. It's freaking physics, guys. It's not hocus pocus, you know? And even though they still don't fully understand how it is possible that when there is an observer, it could be a camera or a person, but when there's an observer, that the waves of possibilities, they change compared to when there's no observer. The particles, they act differently. And we're all particles. We're all, even though it feels like, you know, we are solid, we're not. Like if you go with a microscope, they're all moving little particles. And when I saw that for the first time, I was like mind blown. And that was in a time when I was working for Dell and I was facing this crazy challenge of how on earth am I going to hit my $1 million target every month and quarter, you know? And that belief of hey, anything is possible, we're limitless, really helped me to do that. And I'm gonna be very honest. For a big part, I let that knowledge go. So when I talk to you guys saying, hey, we can know stuff, but that doesn't mean that we act by it, guilty too, you know? Which is why I even say I had to delete 4 episodes and be very cautious of, hey, what am I putting out there? What am I still projecting to the world, even though my command says otherwise, okay? And so for me, it's not praying, because that in itself also makes it like you need to earn it and you need to wait for it. The fastest way to stop, the fast way to change it to reality is to stop identifying it and to close the loops. Close the loops. And the fact that that email never even received me, it was sent yesterday, I never received it, it's just a sign for me that the loop was also closed on the outside, you know? This situation made me alert again of how we're creating our lives, how much we have a say in this, how we can alter that reality by choice, by command. I'm grateful that it happened, because it woke me up again and it lit a fire in me. And that fire that I would in the past fight for getting justice is now the fire that I'm using to build, you know, the beautiful life that I am here to build and to call in and to attract. And I'm like, wow, that's so amazing, because this is like turning shit into something good. I'm gonna wish you guys an amazing day, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's episode.